Your guardian angels know it hasn't been easy lately. They've seen your struggles, the way you've questioned everything, and how you've kept pushing forward anyway. That's why they've brought you this message as a sign that you're not alone and that you're closer to clarity than you think. There are multiple paths ahead you can take. The right one will feel like home. The angels say, "But how do you know when something truly feels like home? Is it peace? Is it freedom? Is it that quiet voice in your heart that whispers, 'This is where I'm meant to be'?" Only you can answer that. And maybe you haven't felt that in a long time, not fully. But your angels want to remind you, you're getting closer. The more you learn to trust yourself, the more your path begins to unfold without force. What once felt out of reach is now beginning to feel possible. And that's not a coincidence. That's alignment. That's your intuition remembering the way forward. It's strange to look back, isn't it? To think about who you used to be. You've grown so much. You used to shrink yourself to keep the peace. You over-explained your feelings just to feel understood. You held in your opinions when they didn't match the room. Maybe you even kept people close who didn't see your value simply because you didn't fully see it either. But even then, even when you felt small, there was a spark inside you waiting for this version of you to arrive. Once upon a time, you doubted yourself constantly. You've second-guessed your every move, hesitated to speak up, and let fear guide more choices than you'd like to admit. But now, you're not that same person anymore. You've taken big steps even when they scared you. You've started trusting your own voice. You've put in the effort, day after day, to show up for yourself. That kind of transformation doesn't go unnoticed, and recently someone from your past has noticed. It might have been someone you used to know well, a friend, a co-worker, an old flame. Maybe someone who didn't fully see your worth back then. But now, when they see you, there's something different. They can feel your confidence. They see the way you carry yourself, and it leaves an impression. They remember a quieter version of you, someone unsure. And now, they're seeing someone bold, someone grounded. Whether they say it out loud or not, they're moved by it, maybe even a little envious, not in a bitter way, but in a way that makes them reflect on themselves. Because seeing someone rise reminds people of what's possible. It stirs something within them, the part that still hopes for more, even if they haven't admitted it to themselves yet. And while their reflection isn't your responsibility, your presence is a kind of mirror. I repeat, there are multiple paths ahead you can take. The right one will feel like home. Home isn't always a place. Sometimes it's a feeling, a deep breath, a soft knowing, a moment of ease in a chaotic world. Have you felt that lately? Even for just a second? That's your sign. The right path won't demand that you become someone else to fit in. It will make space for the real you. And if you haven't felt that yet, don't worry. It's not because you're lost. It's because you're still learning what home actually feels like to you. You know how far you've come. Your confidence wasn't handed to you. You earned it. Through every setback, every hard decision, every time you chose growth instead of comfort, you built this version of yourself. There were nights when you questioned everything. Moments when it felt like no one understood what you were carrying. Times when you had to be your own support system. your own motivator, your own reminder that things would eventually get better. And look, you kept going. You stayed the course, even when it felt like you were walking it alone. That's resilience. That's something no one can take from you. Now it's spilling over into every part of your life. You're doing better at work. You're making deeper connections. You're going after what you want with more purpose and less hesitation. And most importantly, you're doing it without pretending to be someone else. That version of you, the one who people are drawn to now, it's not an act. It's not a mask. It's the result of all the work you've done behind the scenes. The boundaries you enforced, the habits you shifted, the self-talk you rewrote. You didn't wake up confident one day. You created this reality, one decision at a time. This run-in with your past, let it be a mirror. Let it show you just how far you've traveled. Let it remind you that you're capable of evolving in ways that even surprise you. You're not just surviving, you're becoming. And isn't that one of the most beautiful things? That you're still capable of surprising even yourself. Think about that. There are parts of your strength you haven't even accessed yet. Layers of wisdom you haven't fully tapped into. You are still unfolding. And that's something to celebrate, not rush through. Your journey doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. Every quiet decision you make to choose yourself adds up. And here's the beautiful part. The confidence you carry now doesn't just help you. It lifts others up too. People around you can feel it. It gives them permission to believe in themselves, to imagine that maybe they can change too. You may not even realize how inspiring you've become. A kind word from you, a moment of presence, the way you walk into a room with your head a little higher, it all matters. Sometimes your growth becomes someone else's turning point, not because you're trying to lead, but because your life quietly reflects what's possible when someone decides to rise. That's the ripple effect of healing. So keep being that light. Keep showing up as yourself. Keep walking your path, even when it's hard, because someone out there is watching you and finding the courage to keep going too. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to keep showing up with honesty. That's what people resonate with most, not perfection, but presence. And in doing that, you'll keep attracting people who see you clearly, who value your depth, who meet you at the level you've worked so hard to reach. That's the power of alignment. It brings into your life exactly what you've been preparing for. Soon, you'll find yourself opening up even more. You'll tell people how much they mean to you. You'll build even stronger connections, because you'll stop holding back the parts of yourself that used to hide in the shadows. Your growth isn't just changing your life. It's about to deepen your relationships in ways you never expected. This concludes the message from your guardian angels. I want to end with a prayer for you. Lord, guide them as they walk forward into unfamiliar places, and help them recognize the path that feels like home, not through ease alone, but through peace, clarity, and truth. Let them release the versions of themselves they've outgrown and embrace the strength they've quietly built in the shadows. Remind them that their transformation is not only real but sacred, and that every step they've taken has led them closer to the life meant for them. Let their presence be a quiet light, both to themselves and to those who witness their becoming. Amen. There are multiple paths ahead you can take. The right one will feel like home, and you're already walking toward it. Keep going. Type 456 to claim this message and the blessings inside for your own. Try and leave a positive comment for other viewers who might need a positivity boost in their day. The universe sees it as an act of kindness that fuels the cycle of good karma. You'll be spreading positivity and receiving the universe's blessings in return. Let's uplift each other and create waves of good energy together. I also want to pass on a time-sensitive message from the moon to you, and you need to hear it today. A subtle yet powerful energy will push you to make a critical decision by the end of the week. You won't find the answer in your horoscope, so don't bother looking there. Click the link in the description to see your free personalized video moon reading. I was amazed at how accurate my reading was, and I know you will feel the same. An important message is waiting for you in the next video. Will you hear it?